77% of homes that sold in Marin County this spring went into contract within 30 days, and those homes closed at about 5% above their original asking price. The ones that sat past 4 months, they sold for about 16% under. Same county, same season, and more than $380,000 difference on a typical home. That's not one Marin, that's two. I'm Kyle Frazier with Imagine Marin, brokered by Compass, and today I'm walking you through several submarkets using real closed sale data so you know exactly which market you're dealing with. Let me define the framework first, because everything today runs through it. All of this comes from BAREIS, the Bay Area Real Estate Information Services, our regional multiple listing service, covering 615 single-family homes that closed between March 1st and June 1st, 2026. That's the spring selling season. The typical home that sold went into contract in just 13 days. When I sort those 615 sales by days on market, how long a home sat before going under contract, a clean split appears. I call it the two markets. The sprint market is homes that sold in 30 days or less. That was 477 sales, 77% of the market. And they closed at 105.33% of the original list price. The stale market is the other side. Homes that crossed 120 days, 25 sales, about 4%. They closed at 84.12% of original list. Measured from the top, that's nearly a 16% less. The county median original list price this spring was $1,795,000. So apply that point difference spread to the typical Marin home, and the difference between sprint and stale is more than $380,000, and it's widening. So what decides which market your home lands in? A couple of primary things. First, and this is the counterintuitive one, the softest market in Marin is also the most affordable one, not the most expensive. National Story says luxury is a slow spot. Marin data says the exact opposite. Novato, our entry point, posted the county's lowest sprint overbid at 101.42%, basically right at asking. Meanwhile, the hottest bidding is in the mid-luxury corridor, Hill Valley at 109.7%. Why? Novato's buyers finance, so they feel the 30-year fixed at 6.5%, a 9-month high directly. The upper tier runs on liquidity, not monthly payments, and the S&P just closed at a record above 7,600. The one exception is the very top, ultra prime Tiburon stayed disciplined at 103% above ask because big ticket buyers negotiate hard even when they move fast. Second, inventory isn't what it looks like. Marin has about 306 active listings against roughly 205 sales a month, call it a month and a half of supply, where balanced market is 6 months. But that count only includes what's on the MLS. It leaves out Compass exclusives and off-market homes. So real availability of inventory is larger than the public portals show you. The shortage you keep hearing about is partly a shortage of visibility. Is now a good time to sell in Mill Valley? If the home is prepped and priced right, it's the strongest seller's market in Marin. 85% of Mill Valley sales closed within 30 days at 109.7% of original list, nearly 10 points over the first asking price. And per BAREIS, 99 closings, March through June, on a median close price of $2,550,000. Inside under that number, Mill Valley's premium tracks the stock market more than the mortgage market. These buyers are equity rich and less rate sensitive, which is exactly why you see the biggest overbids here, while financed buyers elsewhere hesitate. Sellers, it's real, but it's earned in the first 2 weeks. Buyers, you win in Mill Valley by being fully pre-approved, insurance verified, and decisive on the first showing. There is no slow lane here. What's happening in the Tiburon luxury market? It's strong, but it's disciplined, and that distinction matters. Tiburon had a median close price of $3,425,000 this spring, the highest priced major market in the county, on 46 closings per BAREIS. 78% of those sold within 30 days. But notice the overbid, 103.07%. That's the smallest premium of any hot Marin town. Tiburon proves something about the top of the market. Liquidity gets buyers to the table fast, but at $3.5 million, they still negotiate. Speed and restraint coexist here. For sellers, that means precise financing matters, precise pricing matters, that is, even more, not less. You don't get runaway overbids that Mill Valley sees. But for buyers, the leverage lives in the tail. A high-end home that's sat is usually a pricing story, not a desirability one. Find out which, and the dollar discount can be the largest in the county. Where's the lowest risk place to sell in all of Marin? Larkspur and Corte Madera. Here, 90% of homes closed within 30 days at 106.41% of original list per BAREIS. On 44 closings, a median close price of $2,400,000. But the number I want you to sit with is this one. Not a single closed sale sat past 60 days. None. Think about what that means. Everywhere else in Marin, there's a stale market lurking, a long tail of homes giving back 15 or 20%. In Larkspur, Corte Madera, this spring, that tail didn't exist at all. For a seller, that's the lowest variance outcome in the county. You're not gambling on the first 2 weeks, you're nearly guaranteed. For buyers, the flip side is the hard truth. There's almost no negotiating room. Bring your best offer first, or don't even bother. Is Kentfield still one of Marin's most expensive markets? At the top, yes, with one caveat. Kentfield had a median close price of $3,814,000 this spring, one of the highest in the county, and its sprint homes closed at 111.7% of original list, the single highest overbid of any Marin town, but that's just on 12 closings. I'm flagging that because at low volume, one or two big sales move every number. Treat Kentfield's figures as a strong signal of the equity-driven luxury tier, right alongside Tiburon, but not as a stable statistic. Is San Anselmo a buyer's or a seller's market? It's the town where that question has the sharpest answer because the margin for error is razor thin. Here's the data. 80% of San Anselmo sales happened within 30 days at 107.21% of original list, one of the strongest sprint premiums in the county, on a median close price of $1,800,000, 56 closings. But cross 30 days and you fall off a cliff. The very next bracket, 31 to 60 days, drops to 92.8%. That's a 14-point fall in a single step. There's almost no gentle middle. So in San Anselmo, your list price can't be close enough. It has to be right. The walkability and the Ross Valley schools keep demand steady, but don't like resuscitate overpricing desires, because you got to price the comps and you got to try to get it sold in the first week. For buyers, if a home's still available after 30 days, that's your opening and it's a real one. How much can a buyer actually negotiate in San Rafael? More than anywhere else in Marin, and here's why. San Rafael is the county's largest market with 140 closings this spring, with a median close price of $1,510,000. It also has the widest split of any high volume town in Marin. Sprint homes sell for 104% of original list, but the homes across 90 days at just 78 to 79%. That's roughly a 26-point spread inside one city with real numbers on both ends. So when someone tells you the San Rafael median is about $1.5 million, ask them what's San Rafael, because that median describes neither half in this town. There's a sprint market selling over asking in 2 weeks, and a stale market giving back a fifth of its original price after 60 days. The average between them is a number that falls in nowhere land. What I'm seeing is that the split tracks microgeography, the flats versus the hills, fire zones, school pockets. That's where the two markets framework stops being a countywide lens and becomes the most important thing to understand at the street level. If you're a buyer hunting for leverage in Marin, San Rafael's 90-plus day listings are where it lives. Find out why a specific home sat. If that reason is solvable, cosmetic, pricing, even insurance, the discount is yours to take. Is Novato a good place to buy right now? It's the best buyer's leverage market in Marin, and it's the one I watch to predict where the rest of the county is heading. Novato had one of the lowest sprint overbids this spring, 101.42% of original list, essentially at asking, not over, and the longest median days on market of any major Marin market at 22 days. Median close price was $1,370,000 on 112 closings. Only 67% of homes sold within 30 days, the lowest share in the county. So buyers here can't have some wiggle room. Now, the insight other agents might miss is that Novato buyers finance. They feel that 6.5% rate directly in a way that Tiburon and Mill Valley buyers don't. That makes Novato the canary in the coal mine. When rates bite, Novato softens first. So if you want an early read on where Central Marin is headed, if the stock market tailwind ever fades, watch Novato. It moves before the rest do. So here's the bottom line. From 615 closed sales this spring, there isn't one Marin market, there are two. The sprint market sold in under a month at 5% over asking. The stale market sat past 4 months and gave back 16%. The gap between them is more than $380,000, and it's getting wider. The difference isn't luck, it's location, floor plan, pricing, presentation, and occasionally insurability. Want to know exactly which market your street is in? Send me your address and I'll break it down. And check out my market intelligence hub on Imagine Marin. A quick note on the data. Everything today is from BAREIS MLS. Single family homes, closed sales, March 1st through June 1st, 2026. 615 closings countywide in Marin. And the analysis is mine. I'm Kyle Frazier with Imagine Marin, brokered by Compass. If you're thinking about buying or selling in Marin this year, let's start the conversation. See you next time.